Farming and gardening is good for the mind, body, and soul. I always knew that I felt better when I had my bare feet on the ground and my hands in the soil and my hair blowing in the wind growing up and just having a real deep sense of freedom running around and playing outside. In 2003, when I landed with a major brain injury, it really deepened me into the power of being in the garden, of working with plants and with soil, and how it could impact my health emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And it also gave me a lot of curiosity about the impact that incorporating farming and gardening would be for people in the healing process. Well, I had the opportunity to meet Allan Kuhn, who works with Camphill, is an organization that works with um, adults and youth with developmental disabilities and provides a home for them and provides day programs for them to live and learn about farming and gardening and taking care of themselves and gaining new skill sets so they can go get jobs out in the what people might call the real world. And they marry and combine the principles of biodynamic farming, which is a holistic, sustainable way of farming with no chemicals, and the Waldorf principles, which incorporates the use of artwork and crafts and mindfulness. And it's really a holistic system. And I'm really excited to share this interview with you where we speak with Annette, who is one of the people who live at Camphill, Ontario. We learn about some of the new skills that she's gained and the jobs that she's doing, and how the biodynamic farming and working with the preparations and working in the gardens and with the animals has really uh, been enjoyable for her and been something that she really enjoys and looks forward to on a daily basis. And Allan gives us a little bit of background on how he got involved with Camphill and what he really appreciates about biodynamics and how it's all connected, how we're all connected. I'm Natalie Forstbauer, founder and editor-in-chief of Heart and Soil magazine. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that like button if you like this video. It really helps YouTube show it to other people, and share it with your friends and family. If you haven't subscribed to Heart and Soul magazine yet, head on over to heartandsoulmagazine.com and you can grab your Heart and Soul membership and get access to all the back issues as well. Really excited to be on this journey with you. Enjoy the conversation.
How did you find Camphill?
Well, the funny story is when I was in university, I had two summer jobs. One of them was working for an organization called Lifespin. And Lifespin was a small social, well, it's pretty big now, but it was a community-based organization in London, Ontario, that supports people that live on assistance, and especially women. One of the projects they had was called pocket-sized farms, where we would go out to individual schools, like schools in the city, and carve out a spot in their big green monster lawn and create a little organic garden.
Okay.
So to learn more about that and how to teach gardening, we went to the local Waldorf school, the London Waldorf school, to meet with their gardener teacher. And then what we did as an activity is we all got on a bus and went out to a biodynamic farm called Sunnyview Farm in Elsa Craig, which is in Huron, well, it's still in Middlesex County, out by Lake Huron. So that day I really got in touch with whatever it is that I wanted to do with the rest of my life, and I started to volunteer there. And one weekend, the gardener here at Camphill traveled to Sunnyview, and because they were friends from earlier life, and they brought some of the people that we support, and they spent the weekend there helping out in the barn and helping out in the garden. So I met the people from Camphill back in probably 1999.
Yeah.
At a farm, and it was just something that was just, it was, yeah, it somehow made sense. But I lost touch and I went off and did an apprenticeship in Europe for biodynamic agriculture. And on one of the farms I ended up working, that I wanted to work at, supports adults with developmental disabilities. So it was a natural progression. So when I came back to Canada, I did go out and talk to Mary Forsbauer out there in Chilliwack. And, I had not a lot of money, and I wanted to start a little farm on Vancouver Island. My parents live out there, but it just was too much. So Camphill said, come on back, come to us. So I did. And that was in 2007. So I've been here. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So,
wow. So do you work in the garden mostly there then?
yeah. So majority of what I do is we have a 5-acre market garden.
Mm-hmm.
And we do market vegetables to the Barrie or the Angus Farmers Market, which is our local town here.
Yeah.
But I do end up sometimes doing other things like supporting people out in the community. Like today, we had our CTV News broadcast. So, just sort of some of the public outreach. And then sometimes I do some support in the houses. So it's a well-balanced thing. But majority of the time I'm in the garden.
So tell me more about the Camphill's philosophy and how it works and how it all comes together.
Well, we call it sort of the Camphill ethos. So that magic secret sauce that keeps everything together started back in 1938 when Carl Koenig emigrated or fled Europe after founding some schools, some pedagogical schools for children with developmental disabilities in Eastern Germany. And he fled there and he came to Scotland. And in Scotland, he found an estate with a group of friends, fellow anthroposophists, who were also fleeing the fascism in Europe. And they established a place for refugees, children with social refugees, children with developmental disabilities on the property. So it was a holistic approach to supporting children and the arts. So the arts are heavily involved. The other therapeutic arts are involved, but then there's the whole land element. So this land element, sort of one of the other pillars of Camphill, is that we that through nutrition we can also find a balance in ourselves. So proper nutrition is key to health. So not only the arts, but the good therapy, but also nutrition. So a lot of Camphills find themselves on a rural property with a garden, with a farm, and the key of it all is these keep our natural rhythms true. So in the classroom, sometimes you can turn on the lights and turn off the lights, but out in the agriculture, you can't turn the lights on or off. So you're kept within a natural rhythm. That means in a small micro way, you're sort of traveling through the universe in the sort of large macrocosmic way. So you can relate to what's happening with the sun and the moon and all these different spheres or planetary beings become really part of our everyday life. So that rhythm, the Camphill or the that sort of biodynamic rhythm, that becomes key. Sort of it's that breathing in and breathing out during the day. So how does that work socially? It's an attempt to live these threefold social order with having a rights sphere and having a cultural spiritual sphere and then having an economic sphere through solidarity. So they attempted in the original to actually create this I got his mask up now because Annette's arrived.
Oh,
Annette. Come on in. You don't need a mask. You're fine. It's just me. It's just yeah, we still have to follow some of our ministry mandates right now, but it's fine. There's Annette.
Hi, Annette.
Natalie.
Hello.
Hi, it's really nice to meet you. I'm very, very grateful that you're spending some time with us today. Yeah. I can see by the big smile on your face that you really enjoy being where you are.
Yes. I wish
Yeah,
I had the kitchen, but they didn't do it.
they didn't.
No, they said they would come back and they didn't.
Oh,
And that's Annette has some renovations in her apartment, and they're doing a new kitchen for her.
oh, wow.
But they didn't come back.
Oh, they will
Yeah.
though. They will though. Yeah, it'll happen. Do you like cooking?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're
Except
really
if I can cook with the oven, just the top of the oven, and forget about the bottom of the oven until I get, really good at it.
yeah, that sounds perfect.
Because
So
the oven is probably going to be dangerous
it could
inside
be.
of the oven.
Yeah, and it sounds like you have a good handle on what your next step is to master the top of the oven first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Annette, you Allan was just telling me a little bit about Camphill, and you've been there for a long time. How many years have you been there? Do you know?
I'll be 49 this year.
You'll be
You'll
49.
be 49. So when did you start? How old were you?
20.
20. Wow. And what are your favorite parts of Camphill?
With Judy right now.
Yeah.
So-
What do you like doing with Judy?
I like to do those felted cows.
Yeah. Do you have one of your felted cows with you?
Not in my hands. At
No,
home.
not in your hand. Oh, that's okay. I have a picture of them and they're beautiful. I'll make sure that we show a picture of them to people if that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And what other parts of Camphill do you really like?
The garden.
What part of the garden?
The calendula plants.
Oh, tell me about the calendula plants.
You can make calendula cream out of it.
Oh, and what do you do with the calendula cream?
You can use it on your face, but on my face, it makes a reaction, really bad reaction. I get a bad rash.
Okay, so you make it for other people?
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing how our bodies are all different. A lot of homemade creams sometimes call for honey, and I can't put honey on my face. My face goes like on fire. So it sounds like you have a similar thing with calendula. Your body knows what it needs and what it doesn't need.
Exactly.
That's really cool. I love that you can still make the calendula cream for other people though.
My mom does it. I don't do it.
No, your mom likes it?
My mom likes to do it. I don't do it.
Okay. Okay. And who else
And
uses
she's also a weaver, which I am too, a bit of a weaver.
Oh, really? What
And
do you
there
like?
was somebody who died and they had all this tons of wool. And I said on Saturday to Julie, I said, when you come to the fair, can you please bring me some felting stuff and wool in a bag, like in a bag, and then I can sort it out what I want to keep and what I want to donate.
Oh, that sounds really a good idea.
Because they said to Herbert's Guild said, you can take as much as you want. I said, well, then I'll give some to Camphill too. If you could give me a huge, like in the bag, the felted wool and the willow wool, and then I can separate it.
Oh, that'll be really helpful. I love felting. I haven't done very much of it, but I love it. I have a felted purse that I bought from a felter, and I made some felted Christmas ornaments with my kids.
Oh, you can do Christmas ornaments too.
You do?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'd make these felted dryer balls.
Oh, those are awesome. Those are really good.
They take such long to do. They're like a process. You have to keep pick. And I don't want to pick my finger.
No, that hurts a lot. That hurts a lot.
I tried another needle.
How long does it take to make a dryer ball?
I don't know, maybe.
Do you have any idea, Allan?
With Annette, I have never made a dryer ball, I can say that, but I'm assuming it takes her a good day or two.
Day or two.
Wow. That's a
And would you-
lot of
I don't
work.
do it with Judy. I do it with my mom.
Right, okay.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's awesome. I know a lot of people are appreciating those dryer balls because then they don't have to use the fabric softeners in their dryers.
I don't like the fabric softener. It's too stinky, and you know what? It my nose clogs up.
Yeah, mine too. I don't like them either. And they're really, they
I
can-
don't I use them in the dryer. I just put them with my clothes, but then when I went to find the ball, I couldn't find the balls. They keep going in. They got into with the clothes.
Oh, yeah, they can be tricky to find sometimes.
Yeah.
And what other kind of preparations, like biodynamic preparations, do you like to make on the farm?
Stir the preparations.
Yeah.
We make the preparations. We actually sell it
Oh, wow. Who do you sell them to?
to people who want them.
So-
Okay.
For their garden. You just put it in a
So, yeah, like we do offer them as donation. We're just working with the Biodynamic Society of Ontario. So
Mhm.
the Society for Biodynamic Farming and Gardening. And we're sort of the people that collect the preps, put them together,
together and then we sell them.
and then we mail them to our members. So we're not
Yes.
selling them, that's our little offer. We just sent some away today.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's super awesome. And what preps do you share with your members? Do you know?
I don't remember the numbers.
No, the numbers, right? How about you, Ellen? Which ones do you make and share?
So ourselves, what we make is what we use for ourselves.
Okay.
But what we share is what's made with the prep making days at the Hack Farm. I can pardon. So by the ones that we make, there's two ones we make. We've got really big horns.
Yes.
So we
Really
make
big horns.
500.
Mm-hmm.
So we make the
501 too.
horn manure. We don't make 501. 501 we make as a group. And we also make the valerian. And that's something that you like to do. If you remember the smell
Yes.
and the collecting the flowers and then pressing them and making the juice. Do you know where they are in the hall right now?
No.
Yeah, so we do, those are two ones that we do, two preps that we do make, but everything else, we have everything, we have made 508, which is the equisetum, the horsetail.
Horsetail.
And that we've used on our tomato or potatoes and tomatoes.
Oh, well, you can also use these chicken pellets.
No, we don't use chicken pellets. Nope. That's in Annette's mom's garden. We don't want to get mixed up. That's at the grow. So at our local, you're gonna get us in trouble. So actually, at our local greenhouse, they sell those that new dehydrated chicken manure.
Okay.
And Annette was there, and the gentleman explained to her that it's good against
Blight.
like no, but with the animals, what animals don't go for them?
The groundhogs.
So anyway, so this ended up with a conversation about having it here, but we can't have dehydrated chicken manure on site because we're going for a Demeter certification, and they even though they say it's organic, they cannot prove that the hens or any of the other chickens in the process have not been caged. Right? So anyway, so
Right. And this is a good point, Alan. This is a good point. I'm glad you brought this up too, Annette, because when a farm is Demeter certified or biodynamic certified, there's really high standards that people have to adhere to. And I think a lot of people and public and consumers
like the
don't understand
tomatoes.
that.
The organic tomatoes are way more expensive than the other kinds of tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can be. Yeah. And there's a lot more work that can go into growing them sometimes.
Well, right now I have a greenhouse in my apartment.
Do you? That's awesome.
Like it's actually in pots and trays.
Okay.
I just had to spray it because it was dry.
Okay. So you've gained all sorts of skills from Camphill.
Yes, and I have my own boxes too that I put the plants in.
Oh, that's awesome. And is your apartment on the Camphill property?
Yes, it's in the basement of Raven Tree.
Okay, nice. That's really great because everything's really close for you then.
Yes, I'm just waiting for the people to come back. They haven't set a date with me.
Okay.
Kitchen.
For the kitchen, right, right, because you want to be
They
able
said
to.
they were going to talk to Emily. I already talked to Emily.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so just to give you an idea, Annette's apartment is, it is a subterranean, so that she has a walkout in her backyard, and that's where
Okay.
all of her beds are. So she has a two big, beautiful windows, a nice door she can walk out and water her plants when she remembers.
Yes.
And so, and then if she feels like it and she wants to help in the garden, she can walk down, and it's about 900 meters down the hill, around the corner to the garden, and we have two 2,800 square foot greenhouses. One of them is heated, and the other one is just a cold frame. And inside, that's where we do a lot of stuff, and that's where your calendula is.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. And how about animals? What kind of animals are on the farm?
Hedgehog. Well, groundhogs.
Groundhogs.
They're groundhogs. What about domesticated animals?
A horse,
Yeah,
a donkey,
yeah,
and 2 sheep. Well, there was 2 cow. There was 2 horses in the beginning. Now there's
Yeah.
only 1,
yeah.
and 1 donkey and 2 sheep.
Well,
Okay,
2 goats. Sorry, 2 goats.
awesome. And do you help out with those as well?
No,
No.
I used to feed them, and then I got enthused in, and then I didn't get enthused anymore.
do you know the names? Do you remember?
Gracie and Gracie and Dolly,
And
Gracie.
Doug
Uh-huh.
and Chester.
Oh, that's awesome. But you found that you are enjoying yourself more in the garden and more making crafts and helping making preparations and learning how to cook.
Yes, but I can't do it at the moment. I was
No.
told by the police I can't go upstairs.
Mhm.
We'll keep on that. What we're going to do, Annette can explain some of the stuff she does. She also works at a local fruit farm. So she has
Really?
Not fruit farm.
yeah, Berry Hill Farm.
I did, but not because of the COVID. For 2 years, I haven't been doing it.
Exactly. So before COVID, you were working at Berry Hill Farm, and what were you doing there?
Doing all the boxes.
So you're making boxes and cleaning boxes.
No, just putting the boxes together to put the fruit in.
So some of the skills that she was learning here, she was able to get a job, like a paid money job out in the community at Berry Hill.
But not for the past 2 years.
Yeah, it's been really, there's a lot that's happened in the last 2 years, isn't there, Annette?
And it's also right now I'm making these Highland cows, and I'm trying to do some more work at home to get
that's great.
more finished. And put the legs on them, and then put all the coat on him, and that I already put the snout on. I just had to put the fur on.
Okay. And how many, do you know how many you've made already?
I think I've done 3. I need to do 4. I want to do, but 2. 1 is mine.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And I've already done 2. I need to do a 3rd one. And I'm working on the 3rd one at home so that I get the fur on him and the legs attached.
That's fantastic. And then you'll be able to sell them?
I will sell them, and I will make money off it.
Yeah, you will. That'll be really helpful.
Because nobody else is doing felting in the community. It's
Oh,
just
really?
me.
Oh, wow. And that's such a gift. People love felted
And I
products.
saw even that this one lady was doing felted sheep,
Yeah.
but I don't have the carders yet.
Okay.
And also the sheep's wool, you have to card it because
Okay.
it has all this curls in it,
Oh,
and it also has grass in it, which is not good if you're going to make a sheep and you suddenly see grass in it.
right. How do you card the wool?
Use handheld carders. I already ordered some.
Yeah.
They're on their way
Yeah.
in, I think May 1st until May 4th. In somewhere in between May 1st to May 4th, I might get the carders.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Judy, I have this wool in my that's really hard that
Mm-hmm.
mom made me brown, and I cannot get it to go apart. I have to have a maybe card it first before it becomes so that it becomes pluckable, so I can use it for the cows.
Right. And so, Judy, with the cows that you're making, do you use all natural color wools, or do you color some of it colored as well?
It's all felted colored wool.
Okay.
That's how it came. I didn't get the natural wool.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like you are working with some natural wool if it still needs to be carded and the grass needs to be pulled out.
Another one, it's in the bag. I saw them put it on the pipe cleaners, and
Okay.
it tightens between pipe cleaners. That's what I saw
Okay.
the lady do, and she made the whole. She made even the face with the
Yeah.
little O's and the little mouth too.
Yeah.
I saw the whole video, and that's how I got interested in it.
Really? So you just watched a video and learned how to make it more or less.
Yes, YouTube.
It's amazing what you can learn on YouTube. Do you know, a lot of people are looking for more natural fiber toys for their children. So that's
Toys.
probably
I don't think I'm gonna get into that. It's way too complicated for me.
it's way too complicated. Do you think who would probably most enjoy one of your cows?
Well, I'm supposed to finish it, the third one,
Yeah.
and then I'm supposed to call the people. There was one person in the UK who responded,
Yeah.
and I don't know her address. Someone from the UK responded to one of them, and then there was two in the village, and I don't know where this person lives in the UK. I
Okay.
do not know, and I
Well,
don't
they
know
know
how,
where to,
and I don't want to send it to the wrong address.
no. Well, they'll know where to find you. And it sounds like you have some good helpers around you to help you make sure that they go to the right people.
And this biodynamic is a long time thing ongoing.
Yeah,
It's not just,
tell me more about that.
it's ongoing. It's not just one day. It's years and years and years and years.
What do you like about biodynamics?
How the preparations are done.
What part of how the preparations are done do you like?
Getting them on the plants.
Mm.
And also the hascap berries. I did the hascap berries too.
And what did you do with them?
I made a smoothie out of it once. It tasted really sour. Ew. They are really sour. They're not sweet at all.
No,
No.
but they're really good mixed with maple syrup.
I never tried it with maple syrup.
You haven't had a bottle of the Hascap syrup?
No,
What?
I haven't got one.
Oh, wow. It
I mean,
sounds
I
like
was volunteering to make the maple syrup. label it, but I never got it has maple syrup.
Well, it sounds like it's something brand new that you guys are making. Is that true, Ellen?
This will be our second year. I
Okay.
believe, where we've done it.
Yeah.
We did the first year, I think we did 80 bottles.
Mhm.
And this year, but they're only 200 milliliter bottles.
Wow.
I don't have any examples on the stage. They're all in the basement. So
Yeah. That's
this year we
okay.
did more. But yeah, picking is a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work.
It is. I grew up picking blueberries and
Right.
raspberries. Mhm.
Actually, I did raspberries. I
Oh,
remember I did raspberries as a kid for a lady, and then the lady decided to move. She moved and then she sold her house, so she no longer owns that house anymore. She
okay.
she also offered me step classes,
Oh, really?
the step thing. I
Yeah.
did that for a while, and then I was also babysitting the kids too,
Oh,
while the
perfect.
mothers were doing their class. This
Okay.
was a long time ago. I've done so many things through over the years. Like I used to work for my dad's company too, like years ago. And now they sold it to two guys have it now. And
Yeah.
they said if I wanted anything, just to give them a buzz.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask something for Pete from them, but Dad said, no, don't do that.
It sounds like you have a really good community around you, Annette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on with the biodynamics where you live?
Well, that's a good question. So I'm on a brand new farm, Annette. I've been here for 2 years. And so I just used the biodynamic preparations on the farm. And so I put them in the compost pile and I sprinkled them around. And I've used 500 and 501. I think those are the only two preps I used so far. And I'm really looking forward to using more of them this year and making my own preps this year as well. I got a horn. It's just a little horn. So, but it'll be enough to make something to use and repurpose on the farm. And then I also use the celestial calendar for planting. Have you heard, how you're talking about biodynamics, not just like happening like that. It's like happens all the time over years and years and years, and you plant according to sometimes where the moon is in its phases. Have you ever noticed that,
Oh,
Annette, or learned that?
I saw the calendar.
Yeah.
I'm interested in actually getting one for
Oh,
next year.
really? Oh, cool. Well, maybe you can even get one this year.
Yeah,
Or
have
maybe
one
they have
on the
one.
way.
Oh, really? Cool. Yeah.
Every,
So
yeah.
I wanted one too. If you had ordered two, I would have had one too.
Yes. So
well, there
yeah.
you go. There you go.
So the celestial one from Earth Haven
Yes.
Learning. We get those every year, and that's helped me fill them out. And we do try to follow it as best as possible. But it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So ours is in the mail.
Yes.
Very,
So
very.
is my stuff in the mail still?
Yeah. So, and we also, the calendar's in the mail, and we also buy now from, what's the seed company? You saw the package on the ground.
Demeter Association Certified Organic.
What's the company?
Turtle Tree Seed.
Turtle Tree.
Oh.
So Turtle Tree Seed is all biodynamic seeds. They're one of, I think, North America's biggest distributors, and they're now allowed to ship to Canada.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, they're a social enterprise at Camphill, which is in New York. So,
I went there as an exchange with
Did you?
Adam Fairbanks. I did once. Like a long time ago. I don't do it anymore.
did you work in the
No, I was in the garden.
So they have one of their programs, their social enterprises, is a seed distribution company.
Mm-hmm.
And they grow, like they propagate seeds, but they also get seeds from other biodynamic growers, and it's called Turtle Tree, and it's a Camphill initiative in New York.
I didn't know how to work with the seeds.
In the garden, so even if you're not working in the with the seeds, you're working at the seeds in a whole different way if you're working in the garden, because they're still the seeds. Maybe you were working
Again,
on
I have the plants. My plants are bigger than his plants.
really?
Yes. Yeah, so as you can see, I have, let's say 20, 25 years. Annette has 30 years experience. So
Yeah,
Annette is my mentor in the garden.
really.
So things that I don't catch, Annette catches right away, and things that
Wow.
we really do help each other in the garden.
I'd love to know, tell me something that you learned from Annette about gardening.
Patience,
Yeah.
patience, and persistence.
Ah,
I give stuff up a little easy, think, oh no, let's reseed, but Annette is persistent and no, it's going to turn out. It's going to turn out. You know, it's just a little bit of that. It's that, like, sometimes you have things that don't germinate. Like we've had carrots that take 3 or 4 weeks to germinate, and you think, all right, I'm going to plow it over and then reseed. But I think sometimes it's patience and things turn out.
Yes. I tried
yeah.
carrots and they were like this small.
Well,
They don't grow in my box properly.
So in the garden, I'm just going to jump in for a sec. We do use raised beds in the garden,
okay.
like
Yeah.
ridges. So we use a
That's the
ridge
box.
tiller, and we create not in the box, but on the field. So
Yeah.
we create these big domes, like these beautiful domes that we seed on, and it's 75 centimeters apart, so people can walk down the row easily. So it's not like, so they're wide rows. So in these rows, we do. I've got some pictures of you holding carrots that are really big.
Right. So just to be clear, so she is growing some in like a box, and then
So in her, so behind your house, can I talk for a sec?
Yes.
I did put in 2 large beds that are they're 2 feet tall,
Yep.
4 feet wide, and 6 feet deep. And
Oh, wow.
they're filled with 3 or 4 cubic yards of composted cow manure. Like you've got big stuff. It's sometimes what happens is there's a lot of seeds going on in there. So there's some competition from other plants, isn't there? So it gets a little bit assorted, we can say, or dynamic. So sometimes you have beautiful pumpkins that just take over the whole yard, but the other stuff kind of gets a little bit shaded out. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm wondering, how does somebody get to go to Camphill? How does somebody get connected to be a part of Camphill?
But you have to go, I think, on the highway, and before you kick Cooks down, you have to keep following the road into Cooks down and down the road, and then by Baxter.
Yeah.
There's somebody that used to have a house at the end of the property, but she doesn't live there anymore.
So Natalie's asking, how does somebody become a member of Camphill? How can somebody come and
volunteer?
You can volunteer.
Okay.
That's one way. But how do you come to live here?
You apply. You apply.
So can I speak for 2 seconds? Yes. Each Camphill has a different intake process.
Yep.
Our Camphill here, we deal with the Ministry of Community and Social Services, Ministry of Community and Children and Social Services, and they have a sort of a central organization called the DSO, and that's how people apply to, and then people are placed through the DSO.
Okay.
Camphill Glenora Farm will have a different process, and as well as Camphill and Cascadia in North Vancouver has a different process as well. So you'd have to deal with the BC industry there and see how it works. We're really almost 99% publicly funded, and
Mhm.
other Camphills have a different mix. So some are more private. So there's different intakes in different ways.
Okay. And what ages of people are there?
There is young people,
Yeah.
and then there's an elderly gentleman
Mhm.
in my house who's it's going to be 95 this year,
Wow.
and he lives the gentleman live upstairs,
Yeah.
and I'm like downstairs by myself.
You have
Yeah.
your apartment. So, our ages are adults, so anybody between 21
Yeah.
and, well, Uncle Petey's 97. I think
No,
he's gonna be
95.
95.
Wow.
So there are Camphills that are specific to children, but ours is an adult community, and that's how it works here. But there's an initiative in Montreal, north of Montreal, called Maison de Manuel, and that also has a mix as well.
Mhm.
But in New York, there's a couple different Camphills that are specific to children. Then there's adolescents, and then there's
Adults.
and then there's a senior Camphill for our seniors. So there's quite a mix, but in Ontario, it's just adults right now.
What a gift, hey, Annette, to be able to be living on a farm with animals and with your own garden.
I actually go when it's nicer weather. I usually take the baby carriage out with the doll in it, like a real doll, real doll in the carriage. I push her.
Wow.
And you go see the cows.
And I go see the cows, and I go see the horse and the donkey
Oh man.
and the sheep.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I got her a year. She'll be a year on May 21st.
Wow. That's really cool.
It's like really special to me because she's like helping me cope through things that are very tough.
That sounds like a really special doll and a really special time too, to be able
And she's
to.
very expensive doll too.
Really?
We don't want to talk about money tonight.
Was she a gift?
No, I had to buy her.
Okay, well, that sounds like a good investment.
And I did write to the lady, and I did say, send me the clothes, because I lost the clothes.
Oh, I'm glad you could get some more. And I'm glad
She's going to send it, but I haven't received it yet.
It'll come.
It'll come, and then I'll have to pay the bill.
That's the way it works. Oh. What else would you like us to know about Camphill, Annette? Or gardening?
All the tomatoes come out at the same time.
Mhm. Hey, what are your favorite?
Yes.
What are your favorite vegetables or herbs to grow?
My favorite is, I like cilantro, but nobody in my house knows how to cook with it.
Oh.
I saw that you can make it in guacamole. You can add cilantro in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I know how to make certain things, but I just don't. I'm scared that if I put the oven on, that I'll forget to turn it off.
Yeah, I understand that.
But maybe they should put a timer on it.
That can help.
With support.
With support.
Yeah,
fine.
with support, that can help. Yeah.
So,
yeah. I know it's not the same. And it's a little bit the same, Annette. I had a really bad brain injury in 2003, and I became very, very forgetful. And so cooking became kind of dangerous for me too, because I would leave burners on all the time, and I couldn't remember how to use a stove. And so I had to relearn how to cook and how to make everything work. So I know how that can feel when you're scared about leaving a burner on.
We're one step at a time, right?
One step at a time.
Yeah, and you have good support. That's
Well, I will
awesome.
have also, not just only the kitchen, I will also have the washing machine and the dryer.
Okay.
And the wash and dryer I know how to use.
Yep.
It's just the stove I'm a little scary about.
That's okay. One step at a time.
One
Sounds
step at a time.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot going on and you have a lot of resourcefulness and you have good support around you.
That's what passport's for.
So Passport's a provincial program where people can apply for certain things that that will enhance their lives. Sort of
Okay.
like a bicycle,
Yeah.
to and fro. I think the transit tickets, certain things, even a Disney Plus membership, I think, during COVID, something that was funded because it helped people that, you know, our sector really got shut down, and we still, as you see, we're still following some heavy mandates, which is important. But these attacks like Disney Channel, Netflix,
Like
people got some new TVs.
Yeah, I got a brand new TV, and the other one's in the storage room.
What else would you like us to know about Camphill?
That Camphill right now sort of been in the years past, Camphill has sort of been an insular place, and now we're reaching out and making partnerships with organizations that are out there, and people are getting to learn a lot more about Camphill, and we're getting to learn a lot more about people. So we're making partnerships with different organizations, and I think that's what's more important, is that we're taking Camphill outwards. So you'll see us here and there. In Barrie, we were quite active, and right now we have a maple syrup festival at Drysdale Tree Farm, just outside of Baxter and Essa, and we're having a great public event. So we're expecting about 800 people to show up.
Wow.
So do we have to wear masks to this event?
So the mandates have changed. The individuals that we support, so people that are supported don't need to wear masks, but the team of people that do support will have to wear masks when they are within 6 feet or 2 meters of people. But Drysdale's will probably have everybody wear masks anyway as a mandate. Anyway, maybe not. We'll see. But it's outdoors. It's going to be a lovely event. So it's our first step outwards. So we've been insular, but we are pushing outwards. We had a store in Barrie. So the idea is that
actually the farmers market lady said, "Did you want a stall?" And I said, "Yes, if I have enough stuff to make, then I will make a stall. But if I don't have enough stuff, how am I supposed to make a stall?"
Right. So do you help out at the farmers market, Annette?
I did
Off and on?
off and on, but not the one in Angus.
Okay.
Like I did once, but not again.
Yeah.
Annette had so it was a social enterprise. So Annette had a paying job at the farmers market. She sold their vegetables, chatted up customers about the vegetables. So it was really great. But then COVID shut that down because of mandates, right? So I was allowed to go to the farmers market, but all gowned up, you know what I mean? But that because it's just these steps you need to follow. So hopefully we'll be in June and July, we'll be out in Angus farmers market again. But it's just been so, it's been hard.
That's
but
awesome.
For years,
Right.
farmers market.
Yes.
So residents
I want to do it again, but not Barrie.
Well, Barrie's where you make the most cash.
To marry the most cash.
Yeah. So the residents have an opportunity to work at the farmers market and make the money for themselves. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But you have to apply though. You have to have an interview.
That makes sense. That's a great opportunity to learn how to interview too.
Yeah. So currently there's a social enterprise happening with Lakehead University, which is in Aurelia, the Aurelia campus. There's a sustainable development program. We're researching how the bricks is, the sugar content, the sap is right now every Friday. And the individuals I support, Josh and Skylar, we go out into the forest and we measure with a brixometer or
Yeah, that's awesome. But I am just noticing the time and I want to honor you guys.
Okay.
Have a 4 o'clock to jump on, and I actually do too.
Okay.
So big love, Annette.
Yes.
Allan, thank you so much for your time. It was so nice to meet you, and I love learning about what you love, Annette, and I can't wait to share this interview with people and let people know about the amazing work you're doing.
Yes.
Allan, I'd love to circle back with you if that works.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Big love. Have an amazing day.
Thank you.
Have
Awesome.
fun felting. I can't wait to see more cows.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
We're doing
Grateful you joined us for that conversation and interview. If you haven't subscribed to Heart and Soil magazine yet, head over to heartandsoilmagazine.com. Click on that subscribe button and join us for just $39.99 a year. You make yourself an amazing day, and I'm really grateful you're part of our community.